right, welcome back to Top 5 Vinyl, where we show love to vinyl owners. Today we have Dakota. How's it going, Dakota?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. Before we get started, so I found you on YouTube showing off some vinyl. Can
Mhm.
you share with the people where they can find you on YouTube?
My YouTube channel is Coda's Interlude. Since then, I have not made any updates. My collection has grown though.
Nice, nice. Okay, cool. And before we officially get started, everybody make sure to subscribe, like, tell all your cool friends, you know, all that cool YouTube stuff.
Mhm.
With that being said, Dakota, did you grow up with a record player in the house?
No. Uh,
Mm,
my dad, he started off as a music producer before he had us kids, and he has a huge CD collection. So I
mm,
grew up with a lot of CDs, and eventually I started to build my own record collection.
nice.
So yeah,
So do
he had
you
played a big role in my influence in music. So.
what kind of stuff was he listening to?
A lot of jazz and
Mm,
R&B, hip hop sometimes, but mostly like R&B and jazz.
okay. All right,
Yeah.
cool. And do you remember the first vinyl record that you ever bought?
Yes. It was Jesus is King by Kanye West.
Okay.
And that was the first one I bought. I also bought Nat King Cole, A Christmas Song,
Mm,
and I bought those two together. Those are.
nice. Okay. Um, when you go and buy vinyl at a record store, do you have a favorite location to buy from?
I usually go to in Toronto, there's a shop called Cops, and they normally have records for a pretty decent price. A
Mm,
lot of these other places are overpriced. So
mm.
either Cops in Toronto or Sonic Boom, and both of them have websites as well.
Okay, and that's interesting. Define overpriced because I remember about a month or two ago I saw a record and I was just like, wow, what do you think is like what should a record cost? You think like what is overpriced for you for a record in the store?
I feel like if it's pushing over $40, I'm questioning.
Yeah,
Unless it's like a special release or it's colored or there's something about it that makes it worthwhile.
right.
It's just the record itself and it's just plain black. I don't see why it should be over $40.
Yeah, I remember I was in I forget the name of the store at the time. I was in a store in the mall and I turned around. They had like a little vinyl section right before you left the store, and they
Mhm.
had a Star Wars soundtrack, and the soundtrack was like $95, and I was just like. Well, who's paying for this? Why are they pricing this at $95? I just didn't understand the logic. I mean,
Mhm.
whatever.
Someone's buying it.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. So like on a trip to the record store, do you remember like the most amount of vinyl that you walked out with at one point in time?
yes. One time I spent is 300 and something. I don't
Huh,
remember
okay.
exactly how much, but I walked out with six records, but I
Okay.
paid $300. I don't know if that really matches up, maybe, but
Hmm.
it was when I was first starting. I would recommend people not to like obsessively purchase because that's when you start not
Right.
looking at prices and you're just
Right.
excited.
Okay. So oh yeah, so you said your father was into CDs more than vinyl?
Hmm.
Okay. I was just gonna ask like so his CD collection, was that off limits for you, or you could just go ahead and just listen to stuff like that was cool?
Yeah, no, that was cool.
Okay, because I just know a lot of times, a lot of people my generation and older, like the parents who had like these massive floor standing record players,
Mhm.
it was off limits. Like,
Yeah.
don't even get close to it.
Yeah, no, I baby my record player, so I get that. But I feel like maybe because they're CDs, it's a lot harder for me to damage those.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and he encouraged me to explore anything that I was interested in, so
nice.
it was always open. Mhm.
Okay. And is there a vinyl record currently right now that you want so bad and do not have?
Yes, it's Malibu by Anderson .Paak.
Mm,
There's no reason why I don't have it.
mm,
I just want it, and also
nice.
the No Worries Wylod by Anderson .Paak and Knowledge as well.
Okay. All right,
Mhm.
cool, cool. All right, and with that being said, this is top five vinyl. Dakota, can you share with me your number five, the fifth record you have in front of you?
All right. So we're gonna start off strong with Sir Chasing
Mm,
Summer. This was one that I was on the hunt for a very long time. When this album first came out in 2019, I missed the drop
mm,
and I was devastated, and it wasn't reissued until just this summer.
mm,
But this album just meant so much to me, so I'm so glad that I finally have it.
nice. How did that work as far as the drop? Like, what kind of website was that?
It was on the TDE website,
Oh,
but
okay.
when it first came out, it was limited stock and they were color, they were orange, but this one is black.
Mm,
So when this came out, I made sure to buy it as soon as it
right,
came out. I
right.
wasn't gonna miss it again.
Okay. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, that's your number five. Let's go ahead and take a look at your number four.
Okay. Here we have Duke Ellington and John
Mm,
Coltrane. This was one of my first records that I bought. I think this was actually my first time in an actual record store. Because my first records I didn't buy at a record store. Um, this comes from the jazz influence from my dad,
mm,
and again, this is another album that just means a lot to me. So I feel like a lot of these albums that I've picked are because they're associated with a lot of memories, not necessarily because I think they're the top five albums.
right.
But this is another one that I just hold dear to me, and it
Mm,
reminds me of being younger and my childhood. So
yeah.
another one.
I definitely understand. There's
Yeah,
a couple
not very
albums.
sentimental.
Yeah, there's a couple albums that if I hear it would just completely remind me of my parents. Like
Yeah,
that's the way it is.
yeah, it just makes you smile.
Right, right.
I love that.
Before we get into your number three, I forgot to ask, have you seen any of your top five live before?
No, I was supposed to see
Mm,
Sir actually in July, but his show got canceled.
mm,
I think it's because of the Drake beef with
uh,
TD, whatever. So Toronto got the rough end of the stick. I got
right.
my money back, but I would have much rather to see him live, of course.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. All right. So that
Mhm.
was your number four. Let's go ahead and take a look at your number three.
Okay. Number three is Jesus is King by Kanye West.
Mm,
I just had to include this because this was one of the first that I bought.
hmm
And I grew up in a Christian household, so a lot of gospel music has deeper meanings for me, and I just hold it closer to my heart. And so Kanye West also has been a huge inspiration for me growing up. I wouldn't say as much now, but it is what it is.
Right.
Um, so when he made this whole switch, like I was so invested in this era of his music career. I thought it was really good.
Mm,
Um, and it's blue. One
yeah,
of
it's
my,
cool color. Yep.
yeah.
All right, cool. That was your number three. Let's go ahead and take a look at your number two.
Okay. Number two is Saunderson by Brent Faiyaz.
Mm,
This one was a gift from my cousin, and this is another artist that I loved for so long. I discovered him actually on SoundCloud before he became very popular, and I missed the drop for this as well when it first came out. So when it was re-released, my cousin, she took the effort and bought it for me, and it was such a nice gift. Like it was so emotional. Yeah.
nice.
So
Wow,
I love.
two strikeouts, huh?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. I was also supposed to see Brent last year and he canceled.
Mm,
But I even had tickets 2 years before then and it got postponed. So
mm.
Toronto just doesn't have good luck with concerts.
That stinks. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And for the grand finale, Dakota, what do you have in front of you? What is your number one vinyl?
The number one is Blonde by Frank Ocean.
Mm,
This one was reissued 2 years ago, I believe. And my partner actually got it for me, for the both of us. And I mean, you just have to see inside. Like,
hmm
it also came with a poster. I love Frank Ocean and I love this album. And I actually had two bootlegs of this album
hmm
because I was hoping to get a bit better sound quality. So it's nice to have a legit version.
hmm
So yeah, this is number one for me.
Favorite song on the album? If you had to choose,
If I had
if
to choose,
you had to choose.
I would probably say Ivy. I really
Okay.
like that song. Mhm.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, Dakota, thank you so much for sharing your top five with me.
Thank you for
Really
having me.
appreciate it, of course. And we'll talk soon.
All right.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.